Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back here with another live video. Wanted to talk to you about mediation today. I usually try to do these videos in the morning, but because I had a mediation this morning, I wasn't able to do the video this morning. So I'm doing it now and thought that I would take this chance to talk to you about mediation. And so basically, what I want to talk to you about is that you don't have to go to court to settle your case. It's not required. Now, the way to do that is through reaching an agreement. So if you can reach an agreement, then you don't have to take the case to trial. There's a lot of benefits to reaching an agreement. If you and the other party, your spouse or the other parent to your child, if y'all can reach an agreement, then you have control over what's in that agreement. You can craft an agreement that works for your family. So if you have a situation that is specific to your family or something that's really important to the two of y'all that you want in place for your family, you can set that up and you can do the agreement that way. As long as you agree, then most courts are going to approve that. And so, so that's one big benefit, is you have control over what happens in your case. When you take it to a judge, you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I've had judges that I've been in front of every day for 2 years, or every week for 2 years, and they would still do things that surprised me. That 9 times out of 10, I felt like I knew what they would do, but you never know when you're just going to get the random case where the judge wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, or something somebody says sets them off, or they get distracted by some other fact, or it could be any number of things that we as attorneys can't always predict. And so while a lot of times I have a feeling where I know what the judge is going to do, sometimes we get surprised and that happens. And so you can control that by reaching an agreement, and then you know exactly what's going to happen because y'all have already laid it all out in black and white. The other big benefit to reaching an agreement is that you save money. You're not paying me to prepare for a long drawn out trial. And you have to keep in mind, when we go to court, not only are you paying me to appear in court, so whatever number of hours, let's say that we're set, in Brazos County, usually cases are set at 9 o'clock and then at 1 o'clock or 1:30. So you're looking at 3 hours if it's a half-day trial, 6 hours if it's a full-day trial. My hourly rate is $300 an hour. So, and 3 hours is really not a lot of time, depending on how many issues we have to present, how many witnesses we have to present. So 3 hours goes really fast. And and that's $1,000 just me being present in the courtroom during those 3 hours, almost $1,000. That doesn't include the preparation time, talking to all the witnesses, preparing the questions, preparing my client, examining the issues, and making sure that we've considered everything from every angle that we have to consider. So there's a lot of expense going into trial. So again, it's to everyone's benefit if we can avoid that. So we can negotiate an agreement just informally, but also we can go to mediation. And so mediation is a process where you sit down with someone who is a neutral third person. It can be an attorney, or there's some mediators that are not licensed attorneys, and there's excellent mediators that are both, either excellent ones that are an attorney or excellent ones that are not attorneys. It doesn't, from my perspective, it doesn't matter to me if the mediator is an attorney or not, because that's my job. The mediator can't give you legal advice. If you walk into mediation with me as your attorney representing you on the case, then I'm going to advise you throughout the process. So most of the time in mediations that I either conduct as a mediator, because I'm also a mediator, or if I'm there as an attorney, I would say 95% of the time, if not every time, the parties are in 2 different rooms. And so we're not necessarily sitting across and negotiating back and forth across the table from each other. The mediator will start in one room with one party, get their side of the story, hear what they have to say, get their proposal, and then go across to the other side of the table or the other room to hear the other party's side of the story. And so the mediator's not a judge, so you don't have to convince them, when they're in the different rooms, you don't have to try to convince them to believe your case. Their job is just to present then. So, when they go to the second party, they're going to present what the offer is from the first party. And then the second party will have the chance to accept it, make any changes to it, and tweak things to be the way that they want it to be. Or they could just say, no, I'm not doing that at all, and present a completely different offer. Most of the time, usually we end up somewhere where there's some of it gets accepted, some of it gets tweaked and sent back. And so then the negotiations go back and forth that way until hopefully the parties are moving closer and closer together and you reach an agreement. Mediation is binding, so once we reach an agreement and everybody has signed off, it will be printed, either typed up or handwritten up and signed by everyone. Once that's done, then it's binding. So you couldn't change your mind. You can't go back to court and say, you know what, Judge, I don't like that mediated settlement agreement, and so I don't want that to get entered. So it is very important that you understand what you're agreeing to, and that you do actually agree to it, that you don't, you're not signing it because you feel pressured, because you're tired, you're hungry, you want to get out of the room, whatever. And so I know when I go with my clients, I will try to talk through those things to make sure that they understand what they're signing and that this is something that they want to sign. Now, there are times when clients will ask me, do you think this is a good deal? And we'll talk through, what are your goals? And does this help you reach their goals? No party is ever going to get everything that they want. That just doesn't happen. I know a lot of people feel that, sometimes people feel that, well, I'm just giving up everything and the other party is getting everything. And if that's the case, then maybe you don't need to sign, and that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to sign anything. Understand that means that we're going to go to trial then. And so those are discussions that we would have in the mediation room as things develop. Like I said, you can't take it to court and ask the judge to overturn it. The judge won't do that. They cannot do that. And there is very specific case law that says that they can't do that. And then that mediated settlement agreement is taken and turned into, or they use that to write up a final decree of divorce or a final order of modification, whatever it is that your case is. They take that and turn that into the court order, and then that court order gets submitted and signed by the judge. So that's the mediation process. And I want to say mediation can be used for anything. It doesn't have to be a case where there is already pending litigation. Let's say that you just have a dispute with your neighbor and y'all don't want to go to court. No one wants to file something. You don't want to make it all formal and get into a fight about it. But just between the two of you, you're not able to get it resolved. You can set that case up with a mediator, either a private mediator or the Dispute Resolution Center in Bryan does mediations. And you can set that up and y'all can go in, and sometimes it's helpful just to have that outside person come in, and the mediator can't necessarily give legal advice, but they can give ideas. And so they can say, have you considered this option? Or what if you did this? And it may be something that between the two of you had never thought of, and it helps you work out your case. So I'm a big advocate for mediation. I do feel like that it is something that's beneficial and a great option for parties to have. So anyway, that is just a little bit about mediation. I hope that is informative. And if you have any questions about mediation, the mediation process, or anything with family law, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom. Again, if you need a consultation, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a message on Facebook. And y'all have a great day. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the beautiful weather that we've been having and enjoying some time off for spring break. So y'all have a great day. Talk to you later.